Right, St Nectans Glen it is. Let's go see some waterfalls. I had a couple of options of parking to come here. One of them was a lay-by, quite a steep lay-by, by a busy road, which was free. And it was completely shaded. And I was down to like 60% on my battery. So I figured I'll try a bit further up and see if I can find somewhere that's got sunshine on it. So pull into the first car park sign saying St Nectans Glen, waterfalls all over the place, £3 a day. For parking there. So I thought, okay, I thought there was a free one. So I drive back round, have a look. I'm thinking I'm early enough to catch the free one. Anyway, didn't go up the road enough. Literally 200 yards further up the road, there is another car park that is free. That belongs to Nectans Glen. It's very narrow, but I think I'd have got in there. So Mandy's inner skinflint is going, could have saved yourself £3 there, love. But it's done now, and I know I can stay there as long as I like, and I know that people aren't going to block me in because I've got loads of room. So there's bonuses to everything, isn't there? So now I've got a 30-minute walk, apparently, to get to the waterfalls. It's a lovely paved road. I've got my backpack on, and in my backpack I've got my brand new dry robe, my river shoes, another towel, something to drink, underwear, because why not? And I've got my cosy on underneath all of this. So I'm hoping that I'll get to a point where I can just go into a waterfall and have a little bit of a swim or a dip or whatever, because I've never done that. I've just paid to get in. Lovely, lovely lady in the shop. Bought myself a wish ribbon. And apparently you can tie these on any tree that's in the place, as long as you don't climb rocks or pull the branches down, or just be a nice person, and then you can tie the thing wherever you want to be. Apparently there's not that much water in, so it's not going to be swimmable because it's been so dry, which is just my luck, isn't it? But apparently I can go right underneath the waterfall. I can go in there. I'll be able to lie down in the water, and I've just found a Buddha. this is the point where, after the last scene where I had to zoom in, you could see that the people finally caught up with me. I think I was very lucky to get the time by myself there, even if it was just a few seconds. I couldn't set the camera up any closer because it was all in the water. But this was a point I decided it was time to share the waterfall, look behind me, see how many people are there, and make my way slowly out of Dodge. But it was lovely to get there by myself. I turned round and the place was absolutely packed behind me. So I went and picked up my stuff and off I pop. Well, I had the place to myself to start off with, which I thought was very fortuitous. Unfortunately, that didn't last for long. And I was under the impression, and if you look around, it says there's 3 waterfalls, so I must have walked past 2 of them. But it's just so dry that there's no swimming pools, there's no nothing. I mean, that was probably just up to my knees. So I thought I'd go for a paddle before I decided to get undressed and stuff. And I'm glad I did, because by the time I'd got undressed, the place would have been full of people. I wouldn't be able to do anything anyway. Because there wasn't enough water for everybody to stand in at the same time. And I didn't want to be selfish and just be like spreading myself out and taking up all that room. So my conclusion is that it is beautiful here. It is absolutely stunning. It's kind of magical with all little statues and things through it. Do I think that when it's been dry, the waterfall is worth £8? No, I don't. I literally walked down 1,000,000 steps, just like now. Walked down 1,000,000 steps to go to the waterfall, to paddle in it for a minute. Even if it was full of water and I could have had a swim, then I suppose maybe. But I really did think there was more to it. So I did ask them if there were any more, and they said further down, so I must have walked past them. You know when you just have that little bit of a brain fart where you think to yourself, there was a path off to the left that would have taken me to the top of St Nectans waterfall. I didn't go that way. Let's go have a look. Well, that's the top of the waterfall, and the path carries on. And no one shouted, "Stop, don't go in there." Well, you know me. I'll go that extra mile, half a mile as it turns out, to see if I can find what I was looking for, and I can't. So it looks like there's little pastures used around here for cows, and cows have gone into the stream up here. It's a good job I was going to dip my water container in at the bottom near the car park. I mean, I know it's probably been filtered through a few rocks, but there's so much cow poo up here. I'm glad I didn't think of doing that and drinking it before I came here. So yeah, there's a few little places like this where it looks like it's a good paddle, but again, poo. So it's a no from me. I know technically I've just paddled in downstream poo, but so I get a good old 2-mile walk here, so it's going to be a nice 4 miles to start off the day, which is wonderful. However, I don't think I'd pay to go to St Nectans Falls again, but I might do the Woodland Walk another time, which is free, or you just pay for your parking, because that was also really beautiful, and there's ruins everywhere, and you know, where they've tied the wish ribbons around the trees and little sculptures and stuff. So it was really, really cute and quirky and poo. So yeah, that's my thing. No swim for Mandy today. Probably a good thing, because I'm hoping to get my supboard out tomorrow. So maybe that will just do instead. They had this plan. I figured I'll walk all the way down there. I'll go put my river shoes on. Yay, I packed them. But yep, I'll put my river shoes on and see how far I can walk down the river. That would be my thing instead of going for a swim. It's freaking glacial, this water. Glacial. Being so brave. You want to know how long I've been stood here? I rolled my pants up. I can see the bottom. It just looks really... Oh, it's not deep at all. I'd say it just looks really, really deep. But actually, you know what? It's that deep. You can see there, that's the top of the castle in Tintagel on the opposite side, on the cliff. Cows! And then, look! It is Nigel Bumblebee. So it is from a very tired and slightly sunburnt Mandy that I am going to just chill in a van for a little bit. I'd say I could have a proper chill, but it does seem like it's a very, very busy car park with people wanting to park, and I do feel like I am taking up space that people could be using to get into the waterfall. So I need to get myself to Aldi because I've been buying cans of pop and I've been enjoying them, and I'm running out, so I need to get some more. So I'm going to go to an Aldi on the way, get to my park up and get some work done. So hopefully next time you see me, be on a beach with an inflated supboard. I've got myself a new travel buddy. Look at this thing. It's a magpie moth. It literally came in and just landed on my hand. And now it's in the front of the van. I'll have to open the door and let it out, I think. Good morning, everyone. Well, I was hoping to be on a beach with an inflated supboard right at this minute. There's one just round the corner. I drove through it yesterday to get to this park up that I'm at now, and it's not quite what I expected. But I thought, you know, I'll go. There's a lifeguard. It looks like if you catch it when the tide's in mostly, which is like first thing this morning, that it would be okay. But even when I drove by at 7, half 7 last night, the overflow car park was still packed. So I'm assuming it's a lot more popular than you think when you look at the tiny little car park that it's got on the map. And it was recommended by somebody as being a quiet beach that you can sup on. I don't think it is that this time because it's the holidays, isn't it? And the weather is banging, so everybody's going, which obviously is fine. And in not to put too much information in there, surprise visit from Aunt Flo is stopping me from doing that. So it literally it feels like I've been unplugged. So I'm going to have a bit of a chill day today. Where I am, signal isn't brilliant, but there's 2 lovely beaches. There's a lighthouse, and there's an hour and a lifeboat station, that, you know, the ones on the ramps that look really cool. So I think I'll just have a walk out to them, and then I'll come back, and then I'm going to get off to my park up nice and early, in the hope that I can just get there, because I've got some bits of work to do. I've got to make myself sit down for like 3 or 4 hours and just get some stuff done. So easy day for me, I think, today. So I'm going to have a cup of coffee and then I'm going to go for a little walk. Now this lovely path I'm walking on, I mean, it's an eroded walkway, I suppose. is the southwest coastal path, and it seems to be lots and lots of it. I've gone past the camel trail, which is a little bit more, that's an old railway line. There are so many tracks and trails and places to walk and hike and ride your bike. Not here for you riding your bike though, but it just makes it easier to go see places because everything is so clearly marked up. So looking at the lighthouse and the lifeboat station, it's all connected by this path, so I can just meander my way around. Google Maps reckons it's an hour and a half, a little bit more if I'm going to be stopping and stuff. So yeah, it should be a really nice walk. By a bench. Oh, yes, off we go. Just checking Google Maps to make sure I'm on my right way to the lifeboat station. I noticed that I walked past Boobies Bay. Boobies. So down there, that's the lifeboat station, and I might have a walk down because there's a little path there. That's the closest beach to where Bumble is. Bumble is just at the back there, where you can see the telegraph poles. And I started off my walk going Constantine Beach, which is there, and then walked around the headland. It's been lovely. And if people think it's a hardcore walk, I've managed okay. So I've just been in and asked the lovely lady in the shop there. So I noticed here there's a tap. So I asked if I could just fill up a couple of folding water carriers there, just, you know, for washing and rinsing and all other things because of all the beaches nearby. And she said absolutely. She said it's not drinking water, but if it's just for rinsing yourself down with, then that's absolutely not a problem. So I'm going to go in there in a bit. I'll get some water and then I'll buy myself, because I've got ice creams, Ross Killy's ice creams. So I'll go buy myself an ice cream and a jar of caramelised onion chutney as a little bit of a thank you. Oh, and I like a Mandy's take on a Greek salad with a bit of beetroot chucked in there as well. And finally getting sat down and getting some blimmin' work done. Feels good to be getting at it again. I've been feeling a bit about editing, but it's nice to get myself a lovely big ass salad and get editing, and it just feels good to get stuck in again. Can you see it? It's a lot busier than it was this morning, isn't it? All the supboards. So I was sat in the van, you know, like you do, and I knew I'd walked past like 4 beaches this morning when I was on my walk. I can see the lifeboat station from here. Obviously I can't spin the camera around too much because the place is packed. And I thought to myself, why am I sat in the van and not on a beach? So there we go. I did the little bit they had to do. I'm having a 3-hour break and then I'm going to go back and finish it off. So yeah, got my drink. Got a towel that says Cooper written all over it, which makes me miss him. And I'm just listening to the sound of chattering and the waves hitting the shore, so I'm alright with that. I'm breaking my rule just this once. And I went and treated myself from the campsite because they were so nice to let me get some water. So I went in the shop, beautiful shop. They've got Cornish crackler, extra mature, 80-day-old cheese in there, but they had one and the wax was cracked. So they're getting some more in tomorrow, so hopefully I can pick some up before I go. But I've got fresh baguette and Cornish beer. Just the one. So that's my night sorted. And that and re-editing a video. Perfect. Perfect after a day at the beach. Feels like holidays. Hello and good morning. Well, it's time for me to leave here today. Got touristy things to do, don't you know? Got the Aviation Heritage Museum that's just down the road on Newquay Airport, and I've got the Healy's Cornish cider farm to go to as well, because that's a little bit of a tradition we have. And I've got to buy John a Prezi while I'm there. It's a cracking little stop this. You can't get any vans bigger than mine in it. Do still feel the cheekiness of there being a campsite just there. It's normally not one of my things, but there was nothing else around here, and I'd had a very, very bad cranky day when I got here. However, I have been in the shop. I've bought bread, I bought myself a beer, I bought myself some cheese, I bought myself an ice cream. It's a lovely little shop, and it's a very nicely, if not expensively, run campsite. So yes, off we go, bit of a jaunt, and then I found myself a nice cove park up on the cliffs, which should have some lovely views for tonight. So a little bit of a drivey walky day today, but I think I'm up for that. I've done enough chilling for a little bit, so yeah, let's do it. And in typical Mandy fashion, I forgot to end the blog there. So thank you so much for coming along with me. I really do appreciate every one of you watching, and love that you come along with me on my Cornish adventures. Brace yourself for some planes. There's going to be some geeking out going on, guarantee it. So take care, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.
In half a mile, turn right onto Triana.